In section 4, we are going to talk about compound inequalities. So when we say compound inequalities, what we mean is a statement with two inequalities joined by an and or an or. And when we're specifically looking at an and compound inequality, when we are looking at that, both inequalities must be true. So let's go ahead and take a look at solving some and compound inequalities. So first we're going to look at our inequalities where we actually have the word and. So when we're solving them, we solve each inequality separately. So I have x minus 7 is less than 2 and 2x plus 1 is less than 9. So my first step is I'm going to solve my first inequality by adding 7 to both sides. So we have that x is less than 9. For my second inequality, I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. So we get 2x is less than 8. Then we're going to divide by 2, and we get that x is less than 4. So we are joined by the word and. So when it comes to our solution, we're going to do a number line. And I'm going to do my numbers. So I'm going to start at 3, and I'm going to go all the way to 9. So first, I'm going to graph everything less than 9. So we'll have an open circle at 9, and then everything to the left is everything less than that. And then for x less than 4, again, I'm going to do an open circle at 4, and I want everything less than 4. So when it comes to the solution here, I want to look to see where they overlap. And they overlap starting with everything less than 4. So in this case, my solution is only the inequality for everything less than 4, because that would be true for both inequalities. If I pick a number less than 4, it is already less than 9. So my solution is going to be negative infinity, comma, 4. For an and compound inequality, kind of an important thing here is you will only ever write one interval for the solution. If you're writing more than one interval, then you are not writing the solution to an and compound inequality. Okay. So for our second one, we have 2x plus 3 is less than 6 and negative 3x plus 1 is less than or equal to negative 8. So my first inequality, I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. We get 2x is less than 3. Then we're going to divide by 2. And in this case, I am going to write it as a decimal just because I'm going to be graphing this on a number line. So a decimal is easier to look at. So x is less than 1.5. My second inequality, I'm going to start by subtracting 1. So we get negative 3x is less than or equal to negative 9. And then I'm going to divide by negative 3. I'm going to get x greater than or equal to 3. So kind of something to remember here. If you multiply or divide an inequality by a negative number, you flip the inequality. Very important thing here to remember. So now I'm going to go to my number line. I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to go up to 4. All right, so for my first solution, I want everything less than 1.5. So open circle at 1.5, everything to the left. Then I want everything greater than or equal to 3. So I do open circle at 3 and then closed circle at 3, sorry, and then everything greater than that is to the right. Now I'm looking for where they overlap, and there is no overlap here. So this is an example of no solution because they do not overlap. If you also think to yourself, I can't think of a number that is less than 1.5 and greater than or equal to 3. You can't find a solution to that. One more example. So we have 2x plus 10 is less than 8, and negative 3x minus 15 is less than or equal to negative 35. So my first step, I'm going to be subtracting 10. So we have 2x is less than negative 2. Then I'm going to divide by 2, and I have x less than negative 1. Now I did not flip my inequality here because I didn't divide by a negative. Okay. Second inequality, we're going to start by adding 15. So we get negative 3x is less than or equal to negative 20. Then we are going to divide by negative 3. Now in this case, I am going to flip my inequality. So we get x greater than or equal to 20 over 3, which is about 6.7. It's actually 6.6 repeating. But when we go into our number line, I'm going to want to look at the decimal. All right, so for my number line, I'm going to go negative 2 and then I'm going to go all the way up to 7. All right, so everything less than negative 1. Open circle at negative 1, everything to the left. Everything greater than or equal to 23rd, so about 6.7, so somewhere around here. Everything greater than or equal to that is to the right. So again, looking at my number line, there is no overlap. So again, this is an example of no solution. The next thing we're going to look at is the compacted form of and compound inequalities. This is going to be the form that we are going to be working with most. So what we've seen so far is you have two separate inequalities joined by the word and. But more commonly, what you're going to see is the combining of your and inequalities. So you combined your and inequalities into one inequality. Now this only works if you have the same expression with x. So all of our previous examples, we had two different expressions with x. So I couldn't combine them to a single inequality. But if you're dealing with the same expression with x, they can be combined into a single inequality. And you won't have to do the combining. They will already be combined for you. So for our first example, we have 5 less than 1 minus x less than 9. So when you are solving a compacted form, what you do is you work to get x by itself from the middle. So you do whatever you can to get x by itself from the middle. So the first thing I want to get rid of is that 1. And I'm going to subtract 1 from the middle. And if I subtract 1 from the middle, I have to subtract it from both sides as well. So we get 4 less than negative x less than 8. Now I want to get rid of that negative. So now I'm going to be dividing everything by negative 1. So we get negative 4, and I have to change this to greater than x greater than negative 8. I do have to flip my inequalities. Now it comes to how do I plot this on a number line? Okay. So you always read your inequalities left to right. So the first way I'm going to read this is x is less than negative 4. So I need to do everything less than negative 4. So I'm going to start negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8. So we'll have an open circle at negative 4, and everything less than that is to the left. For my second inequality, I start with my x and I read it left to right. And it's read as x greater than negative 8. So again, open circle at negative 8. Everything greater is to the right. Now I'm looking for where do these overlap. And it overlaps for everything in between negative 8 and negative 4. So when it comes to my interval, I'll do a parenthesis because there's no equal to. My smaller number, negative 8, comma, bigger number, negative 4. And then close it with my parentheses. And that's my solution. Second example, we have negative 3 is less than or equal to x over 2 plus 1 less than or equal to 5. So my first step, I'm going to subtract 1 from everywhere. So we get negative 4 is less than or equal to x over 2 is less than or equal to 4. Now I'm going to multiply everything by 2. So we get negative 8 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 8. So if I look at my number line, now I'm not going to put every number between negative 8 and 8. So we've got negative 8, 0, and 8. So the first one, I read it as x greater than negative 8. Greater than or equal to negative 8, sorry. So closed circle at negative 8. Everything greater than that is to the right. My second inequality is read as x less than or equal to 8. So closed circle at 8. Everything to the left of that. So for my solution, it's everything in between negative 8 and 8. So I'm going to do bracket negative 8, comma 8, and close it with a bracket because both sides do have an equal to. Now I'm not required to have my inequalities match. I could have one that's strictly less than or greater than, and the other one is got the equal to. They don't have to match. Last one we want to talk about is our OR compound inequalities. So for an OR compound inequality, either inequality must be true. So that means is as long as I have a solution that works for at least one of my inequalities, then it's fine. It can work for both, but that's not a requirement. So for our first example, we have 3x minus 2 is greater than or equal to 10, or x minus 6 is less than or equal to negative 4. So for OR compound inequalities, there will always be two inequalities that you're solving joined by the word OR. So it's not like AND where you can see it as one inequality or two. OR will always be written as two inequalities. So for my first inequality, we're going to add 2 to both sides. So we have 3x greater than or equal to 12. Then we're going to divide both sides by 3, and we get x greater than or equal to 4. And for my second inequality, we're going to add 6 to both sides, and we get that x is less than or equal to 2. Now I'm going to graph my number line. So I'm going to start with 0. So I'm going to start with everything greater than or equal to 4. So I'm going to have a closed circle at 4, and then everything to the right of 4 is greater than or equal to. My second inequality, I have everything less than or equal to 2, so closed circle at 2, and then everything less than that is to the left. So for an OR compound inequality, 99% of the time you're going to be writing 2 intervals for the solution. And remember, you always start with the interval that contains the smaller. So that would be anything that's a less than or equal to. So I have negative infinity, comma 2, and then my bracket, then my union symbol, and then bracket 4, comma infinity. So again, remember, they don't have to both be true. As long as I pick a number that is less than or equal to 2 or greater than or equal to 4, I'm fine. Then for our last example, we have x minus 7 is less than or equal to negative 1, or 2x minus 6 is greater than 7. So my first inequality, add 7 to both sides. You get x less than or equal to 6. Second inequality, we'll be adding 6 to both sides. We get 2x is greater than 13. Divide by 2, and x is greater than 6.5. So for our number line, we'll have 5, 6, 7, and then 8. Right. Everything less than or equal to 6, so closed circle at 6, less than is to the left. And then everything greater than 6.5, open circle at 6.5, everything to the right of that. So for my interval, we have negative infinity, comma 6 with our bracket, and then our union, and then parenthesis, 6.5, comma infinity. Please let me know if you have any questions about solving compound inequalities, and then if you have any more questions about how to write the solution using interval notation.